Alrighty then. I have here someone very special. So we're going to talk about content creation, which is something that I get questions a lot on content creation. And I found the perfect person. I have my dear friend here with me, Monica. Monica, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting my invitation. And I'm not going to introduce you. I just want you to introduce yourself and tell me a bit about yourself, where you're coming from, and what you do. I know you're an expert on content creation. I just want to know more about what you do and where you're coming from. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Millo. You can find me on Facebook at Monica Lynn. So I help women entrepreneurs who are usually coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and course creators. I help them reach six figures in their businesses, really by focusing on my four-step process. And that is mindset, revenue, message, and marketing. And we really focus on mindset, messaging, and marketing because that is where the game is changed. And so I help these women really stand up in their power and own their message, own their value, own their worth. So that way they can begin taking charge of their life and doing more what they love. A lot of my clients love to travel. They want to spend more money without anyone's permission because that's no fun. And they want to just live a life that is on their terms. And so they want to get to that six figure. So that way they can give back and make more impact in their communities, whether that's local or national or global. And so I work
Nice.
with women. And we do all this through content creation and marketing because I know how it can be to market and create that content. So I'm also an author, international speaker, and writer. And my husband and I reside in Indiana in the United States. And we have a 3-year-old son, and currently I'm pregnant with our second son that is due in January 2022. So we are,
Okay, it's almost there. Well, halfway through.
I am over halfway, which is crazy. I feel like it's been going by too fast. That's a little bit about me. And do you have any other questions?
Yes. I just wanted to tell you what we're working on. So I have a process that I help my clients, life coaches, health coaches, relationship coaches. They want to reach $8,000 a month. So they want a stability. They want to make money, but they don't know how to sell, how to promote themselves. And one thing that I'm always talking about, and it's part of my process, is to find the ideal client, which is one of the steps, then to connect with them, like creating content, and then I help them convert prospective clients into high ticket paying clients. And that's the whole process. That's from creating a brand, from starting up your business to converting and having a flow of income coming in. So that's the idea. But there's this bit in the middle called connect, which is all about creating content. And I get questions all the time. How do I create content? How do I how do I get to be relevant on social media? I know I have to be posting all the time. I know Jackie always telling me we should show up and be present and go live. And I don't feel comfortable, but I teach them how to feel comfortable. But now I feel comfortable, but I don't know if I'm being interesting. How do I create content? So that's the main question I wanted you to help us with. What is a good way of creating content in a way that we never run out of it?
Yeah. So I love that you asked this. And, if you're struggling with content, you are not alone. You are not alone.
Okay.
There's so many people struggling. And here's the thing. Here's one thing I will say real quick. You don't have to do it perfect.
Okay.
I've gotten clients from a message that I'm like, that didn't even make any sense. I've got clients from it, right? because maybe my warden was rushed or I didn't take out a word or something. So you don't have to show up perfect. It's just about showing up. So the first step to creating content, this is a step that I always walk my audience through. And I don't know if you do this, Jack, but so if you've already done it, I would say go back and do it again. It is going to your current client. If you already have clients, go to them. If you do not have clients yet, that's okay. Begin asking people who are your ideal clients, because we all have them. We all have people we're like, yo, you should be working with me, and you're not. So go to them and begin asking a series of questions. Ask them like, what is it that you love about, like, this is what I do. If they don't know what you do, you can tell them, share with them, this is what I do. So what do you love about it? What do you struggle with in regards to your expertise? What do you wish would happen? Like if I had a magic wand and I can be like, poof, your life would be perfect in this regard.
And they have to take notes, right?
Yeah. You need to be taking notes. You can do that. So these are some basic questions. Maybe even ask them like, what would your life be like if this pain was resolved? And really get into their desires and also get into their pain. So you want to begin finding that out, what they're struggling with, because now we want to take that information because they're going to give it. Here's the thing. People love sharing their problems and they love sharing their dreams. Okay. It's just, I have never had anyone say, I don't know. Don't call me. Like I never had anyone say. One thing you could do is there's a free editing, recording and transcribing tool called Auto. So the animal Auto.
Okay.
So OTTER.AI. It's free for like 5 hours. So that's like 600. So if you are on a Zoom call like this, or a Facebook Live or a video, or maybe a phone call, put your phone on speaker, start recording, and it will transcribe your call. And so that way you can really, so that way you're not like busy taking notes and missing out on things. That way you can go back to the transcription and see what is it that they said. And you can begin pulling that and begin using that inside of your content. Like if they're saying, well, I will love.
So they can do that. So they could do that, like maybe call a few friends that they imagine being on profile and do that like 3, 4, 5 friends, and then have questions, ask them questions, and then they have the answers. And that could be the beginning of some content creation process. That's a great tip. That's great.
Yeah, and I would here's the thing though. Here's what I would say about friends. Most of our friends are not going to buy from us.
Right.
So go to those who you want to buy from you, because here's the thing. You want to use that call as perhaps a sales conversation. You can ask at the end of it, hey, like, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, your energy. Thank you for helping me out. Like I actually help people with this, as you know. Would you like to have a further conversation about getting to your desired result that you want? You can either say, if you have more time, we can talk about it now, or would you like to schedule another call and get them in the calendar?
What about asking former clients? Because we were picturing the scenario where you don't have clients yet, but some of my clients or some of my people watching, they do have clients, and some of them I even have testimonials, so they can reach out to those clients and ask more questions, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you have current clients or past clients, go to them, ask them. And with the past clients, see where they're at, and see, you can't offer to work with them again.
Right.
But You may want to ask more in-depth questions with them, because you know what, you can always ask, like, well, what was the results that you got from working with me? Where were you at before working with me? What were some of the things that drew you to me? You can ask that question. What are some things that drew you to me? What is it that you liked about me? Because that way you can begin understanding why people are choosing you, and that can help you position yourself in a way that is going to draw more people to you, especially clients that you love working with.
Okay. So, some of us coaches, we have special niches, right? And we talk about specific topics. And one of the fears, the common fear is, since I'm talking about something very specific, it's not a wide topic, it's not a wide subject, so the area is limited. And one of the fears is, am I going to run out of content because I'm talking about I talk about this pen here, and it's blue pens, one color, because I want to be more specific, and they've been learning that, and I teach them that be specific. You want to navigate in the blue ocean, not in the red ocean. So just an analogy to the blue here. But so they want to be more specific and more specific and even more and more specific, and then they feel like, am I going to run out of content because there's not much to talk about anymore? How would you respond to that?
This is what I always say. I always say you want to look at your package. What do you offer? Okay. Look at your package, look at what you offer, and begin breaking down your packages into bite-sized pieces of content. So, many of us have, our packages are, 3, 6, 12 months long. And we usually we already have like, oh, we go over this stuff. Most of the time almost everybody, we go over, mindset, marketing, messaging. Okay. Then we can begin breaking down each big idea into little topics. And that can be your topic or your content idea for the week, for the month, whatever. And then guess what you can do? You can repeat that process. You can begin to see what is working. Your audience will tell you what's working, okay? After you do some market research and you're looking at your packages, okay, where can I start creating content from, from my packages? Because this is the things I sell. This is the things I do. So you need to just break it down and then use that as pieces of content. And when people are engaging with you, that is the content you want to repurpose and reshare at a later. So you may want to create a document like a Google Doc or a Word document where you're storing that in. So you'll so that way you can go back and copy and paste. And, if you need to tweak it, you can, repurpose it at a later time. But if you are posting a piece of content that is not getting a lot of reaction, that's okay. It's marketing. It's a marketing game. So that means maybe your audience is not interested in that because they may need to hear that, but that they don't want to hear that right now because they're not ready. So you have to present the content to them when they're ready. And the only way to know that is to begin posting and seeing what works, and then keeping the post that works. Like I have a couple of posts that I recognize that works for really well for me. So if I want engagement and reactions, I go back to that post and we repurpose it.
Okay.
Because
so you already have the strategy in place.
Yeah. And another way is if you feel like you're running out of ideas, I don't believe anyone can ever run out of ideas, because not only are we running businesses, but we're living life. And most of the time, our life, we use the principles of our packages or what we say that we work on. So there's always life lessons we're learning. So don't forget about your life lessons. Be aware of what you're learning and what you're saying, because your clients are probably saying the same thing. So you really want to get to the space of just being aware of your thoughts, your lessons you're learning, maybe the myths that you are even busting through mentally, and share that. You don't have to share, oh, I mean, you know, I've been in the grind of my mindset. You don't have to do that. You
Right.
can say, you know, I had this thought once and I realized, wait, that's not cool or whatever. And, you know, and explain the lesson you learned, even if you're still working on shifting that mindset. So don't take for granted your own life lessons that you're currently learning and saying to yourself right now for granted, because that can be really powerful and connective things.
Love that. Love that. I'll be sure to rewatch what you just said later.
Yeah, wasn't it?
It was awesome. A question that just popped in here. When we are, because you mentioned research, if you want to create content, you don't know how to come up with some relevant content, do your research. And I was thinking, how can we research? Do we Google stuff that is within the topics that we work in? Do we go on Facebook groups? Because that's another strategy, and I use that one. Like you go in big groups, and then you. My phone is speaking with me again, and then you ask questions in big groups, and then obviously things that are relevant to what you teach, but then you discover some doubts, like some common doubts, things that people are suffering from, and questions they might have. Do you do that? Do you encourage your clients to do that? What kind of research would you recommend people to do when they need to come up with a big inventory of content so that they don't have that fear of running out of them?
Yeah. So what I would say is, ask questions. People, I found that if I get a lot of engagement when I ask questions. So here's an example. I went to a Facebook group and I typed in, it was like, why do you as a woman entrepreneur want a 6-figure business or more? And I got over 30 answers,
Okay.
but out of the comments, it was like 120 something comments.
Wow.
Really blew up.
Do you engage?
Yes.
Okay. That's a great question. I know people want to know about that. Do you engage? Because some people, they just, because I've had that, and I have clients of mine going through the same experience. They post the questions, and there's like a ton of answers, comments, and it's just like too much. Sometimes it's just like, and they're very similar to each other. And then, should I be wasting time reading this now? Do I reply? Do I engage with them? Are they potential clients? What do you think? What's your opinion?
Yeah, actually, I talk about this in one of my programs called Magnify You. And so anyways, but one of the things that I share in that, and I'll just share it with you, is you want to make sure you ask a question that you're going to get leads from. Okay. Like, since women want 6-figure businesses, I asked that question because I was like, well, why is it important for you? And I got 30 answers. So now these are 30 different ideas I can now talk about on my, make up or create content from. And then from there, I went to some and like all of them and asked, like if they said, well, I want generational wealth, I just went in and asked a question. I hit reply and then said, oh, so-and-so name, what does generational wealth mean to you or look like to you? And then they respond. And then from there, I actually, if I feel like they're a good fit, I would be like, hey, can I send you a DM, direct message? And if yes, then I would message them and do a call to action in that, depending on what I'm doing.
That's great stuff. Then you can build a relationship right then, right?
Yeah. And now, like from that one post, I got, probably like 4 or 5 good leads who are now in my, influence, my wall of influence. So now I'm, just now it's all about that touch base with them. They've gone through one of my programs. So now it's about touching base and coming back to them and, seeing where they're at.
So some of them actually became clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great tip. So it does work. I know it does, but I just wanted someone else to say it.
Yeah. So I don't do this all the time. Okay. So I don't do this all the time. I focus more on my profile. But if you are like, I need a new pool of people to like get leads from, go to a Facebook group that has your ideal audience in them and ask a lead generation question. You can also use that same question on your own profile, see who comes forth. You never know.
I have a question about that very topic. Before I don't know if you're transitioning into something else, but I just want to, so before you go, I've noticed some people asking this question and commenting and mentioning this problem. Do people feel that when you ask questions in Facebook groups, do they feel like I'm not going to engage because this is a lead magnet? This is them trying to lure me into some paid program. I'm not going to answer that. Do people feel that? Do you see that reaction coming from your audience or clients?
I mean, first of all, none of my business what they think.
And if I'm sorry, what'd you say? What was that?
I said, is first of all, none of my business what they think.
Oh, okay.
If they think that, then I'm not sure if I really want to work with them, because then I'm like, if they're looking at it as that, instead of like everyone's running businesses, we all have to grow them somehow. Then I'm not sure they're ready to, or even want a six-figure business. They may say that, but their attitude is, no, you don't want that.
Yeah, that's exactly my answer to the same question. When people ask me that, I always say the same thing. If they feel that way, they're not ready to be your clients. And so what is the problem is that the fact that they think that would happen would prevent them from having the courage to go out there and then do what they have to do. So this is the fix that has to happen. The fear of not being enough to go out there and then explore is preventing them from trying out. And once you go there and then you post and then you engage and then you build a relationship, you see people responding to you. They want to know more. They want to get, they become interested in what you have to share. Those are the ones that you should relate to, and no one else, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I would say if you have a fear or hesitation, begin to really look to see when that fear started and to begin creating shifts around that. Because remember, our minds were created to keep us small, but our higher self is there to help us become who we were meant to be. Our minds don't like going over the unknown, because it's made to protect us. So I would say, really begin to be aware of where if you're experiencing some fears or hesitations, begin, really questioning, where is this coming from? Is it coming from this ego, or is it coming from my higher self? Because my higher self, like she or he wouldn't they would be like afraid of this. And it's just now beginning to work on that and shifting that mindset in you. So I mean, I hear the same feel from other people. So, when you're not alone, I would highly, highly recommend just beginning to work on that, because it's all about awareness. I mean, that's the first step to shifting and changing.
Excuse me.
Behavior, being aware.
Yeah, I know. And all of the clients you work with and the clients I work with, they are super smart. They know how to tackle those problems. They know how to go to the next level with their with themselves, and they know how to overcome fears. They actually do that. That's their living. They live off helping people with those problems. But when it comes to marketing and promoting themselves, that's not something they were trained for. They were trained to help others reach plenitude and satisfaction and be happy and 100% satisfied with life around them, relationships, and be happy. But now they have to sell that service, and then the fear of selling and creating content and then showing up and being visible, that fear starts to creep in. And do you have any advice for those who fear going out there and being visible, because that's how you connect with your audience? I'm always teaching them that, and it works. It works for me. It has been working for me for a long time, and it works for my clients, my students. You be visible, show up, and connect with your audience. Be authentic, be yourself, talk about your life, the lessons you've learned. But then I know that, but it's just like it. I and they don't do it. And how do what would you say to someone that is struggling showing up?
Okay. I don't know they're going to like this, but I'm going to say it because this is the truth. So I'll go with the gentle approach first. First of all, go back to your vision. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you see for yourself in the next 5-10 years? What is it that you're like, I am not giving up. I am not going back to a job. I am not doing that. I'm doing this. Like, this is my stake. This is my claim. And this is what I'm striving for, because that is going to overshadow your field. Remember, what you have already created has nothing on imposter syndrome and feel. Okay. Nothing. So you need to, like, I would feel like just go back to your vision, because that will get you back into the game. Like, oh yeah, I cannot help but show up. And then the second thing, here's a toughie. Are you fully in? If you're too scared to show up, are you fully in? If you can't be out there and be visible, then are you serious about your business? Are you serious about helping people? Are you serious about helping people transform their lives? If you say you are, but yet you're still scared, then are you fully in? Because those who are fully in and are scared shitless and they still show up are the ones who are going to succeed. Those who are scared and don't show up are not, because the world does not know your voice unless you go out there and do it. And no one, absolutely nobody, is going to do it for you. You have to do it. So it goes back to, are you fully in? Is your vision even big enough? If it's not, you're not going to show up. That's the raw and honest truth. And it's scary. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not easy, because it's not always easy. It's scary to get out there. So I get it. And that's where your vision has to be more than, it has to be more. Because I'm looking at my vision board and I look at my child and this one I'm creating in my belly right now. And I'm like, I'm not giving up. Like, I'm not. Like, there's no way. No way. And I'm going to continue to show up, because those women out there who have felt, like, oh, I can't do it because of my children. And I'm showing them, no, you can. And you're the only one. I'm preaching here. You're the only one who can show them a different life, because if you don't, no one else will.
Wow.
So that's my preaching for today.
Wow. Drop the mic. Boom.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that was amazing. Super cool. I heard something super interesting this week. I think it was listening to a podcast. Don't remember who said it. I think it was Amy Porterfield. She was saying something about a client that she had, and it goes like, the difference between successful people and non-successful people is because the ones that are afraid of failing, the ones that don't succeed, they're afraid of failing, and the ones that are successful have fears too, but their fear of missing an opportunity is much greater than the fear of failing. And I was like, wow, that's great. So when you were saying, are you fully in? Go back to your mission. Are you in really? And that reminded me of that phrase that she said about the fear of missing an opportunity. Because if you are 100% committed to your success, then you don't want to miss it, right? You don't want to miss it. So you go out there, you show up, you create content, you connect with your audience, you serve them, and then you move to the next one. And then you have the life you always wanted, the lifestyle, like to travel, to be financially free, with the financially free, with independent, and everything that you want in your life. That's great. Now, I want to ask you this. If you were to give people watching this video an advice, like a great one, and an assignment, a homework, and the floor is yours, the stage is yours.
Yeah. So I would say that if you're struggling with what kind of content to create, I would say think about your potential client's number one question. What is the number one question that you could answer in your sleep because they ask it so much? Whatever. Post that question in maybe one Facebook group and on your profile, on your Facebook profile. Please don't use your page. Please stop using your Facebook pages. Please use your profile. Okay. So we're not going to get into that, but do that. See who shows up. See who answers. If nobody answers, it's okay. After 24 hours, see if you need to tweak it, or maybe come up with like a little bit of a different question. But the whole point of this is going to give you, if people start responding, it's going to give you an idea of what people want right now. And that way you should have between 1 and I don't know how many, maybe 30 different ideas on what to say in your next live, your next post, your next, Facebook or Instagram story, or whatever. And it also may give you your next big idea on a masterclass to draw in people to become clients, or maybe to get on a call with somebody. You never know where it could end up.
Nice.
And I would also encourage that you all practice not being afraid to fall flat on your face. Like, I love how you were saying that Amy Porterfield talked about that, and the successful ones are not afraid to fall flat on their faces.
Yeah. They just don't want to miss the opportunity of being successful, because that's much more important, right? I love that. Thank you so much. Where can people reach you if you want to see your stuff and connect with you?
Yeah, so I do a lot on my own personal Facebook page. Is Monica Lynn, and I would give Jack the URL to that, so you could just become my
post right here. It's right here in this video somewhere, here or here or here or here. You can see the link.
If you became my friend, I always love Facebook friends. And if you reach out to me, let me know, like, hey, I heard you on Jack's video. Like, I would love to just know that too. And if you are like, okay, I would love to get more clients through my social media, because we all spend a lot of time on there, then I would highly encourage you to download the free worksheet called get 10 new clients from social media now.
Okay.
And it's going to teach you a couple of different ways on how to begin getting new clients into your digital doorstep, so you can get new leads and get new clients fast. So you're not waiting around for your next client. And if you are serious about growing your business, if you're serious about growing your business to that 6-figure level, and you're wanting to just get into that mindset to embody the 6-figure woman, I would welcome to always get on a call with me. You can do that at speakwithmonica.com. That is speakwithmonica.com.
Nice. That's great. It's been a pleasure, like always, talking to you, Monica. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all of your expertise with us. And I appreciate that always. And thank you. We'll talk more the next time.
Sounds good. And all the links should be in like below.
They are here or here or here or somewhere in this video, in this screen. Thank you.
Take care.